I'm gonna show you guys just how quick and easy meal prep can be. If your goal is to lose fat and build muscle, the key to success is preparation with your nutrition. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that. I've been working as a kitchen hand for like 3 years. I'm gonna show you the experience I got. In the kitchen, it had to be like super fast and efficient. So I'm gonna show you just how to be efficient when it comes to meal prepping. No one wants to spend hours in the kitchen cooking up so much food. So the best way to do it is to really batch do it. So first things first is that you want to know exactly what you're cooking, how much, what your calories, what your macros are. So for me, I am in a lean bulk, so my macros are going to be quite specific. I am having 2,600 calories, 170 grams of protein, 350 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat, okay? That's what's gonna put me in a calorie surplus. High fiber, high protein, all that good stuff. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have everything laid out nice and easy, okay? And then you wanna start off by doing all of your time consuming stuff. So that is going to be my rice and my potatoes, okay? Let me show you what's on the nutrition plan. So we're gonna start off with some protein oats, nice and simple. Okay, so I'll show you guys a different short video on how I do that specifically. Then we've got our Hoisin beef mince and rice with vegetables. Then it's going to be chicken and potatoes at night. I like having potatoes at night because it's super satiating. It makes me not want to snack late at night. But if I do, I got my snacks. Okay? So I'm going to have some Greek yogurt with some dark chocolate, banana, berries, high volume, good probiotics, good fats, magnesium in the chocolate, banana, all that kind of stuff. And then as a little pre-workout, I like to have corn thins and some honey. Here's the honey. So that's what's on the agenda. So let's start off by doing all the time consuming stuff. So I just turned on the oven, 180 degrees, because that's where my potatoes gonna be. I already cut up all this kind of stuff to save time for the video, but then with all the potatoes. So with my potatoes, going to be chucking them in the oven, letting them cook while I do everything else, okay? Doesn't have to be so pretty, okay? I'm here to be efficient, eat for purpose, not for pleasure, but it's still gonna taste pretty damn good, all right? So let me tell you what my measurements are going to be. For my dinner, it's gonna be chicken and white potatoes. So for each meal, it's gonna be 500 grams of potatoes and 250 grams of chicken thighs, okay? So I'm going to be doing it 3 days at a time. So I'll meal prep Sundays and then Wednesday. So I have my meal plan laid out for per meal. And since I'm gonna be doing that for 3 days, I'm just multiplying it by 3, okay? And same thing when it comes to my beef mince and rice. Rice is 70 grams dry raw. So that is 210 grams laid out here. And the same thing with the beef mince, that's 250 grams times 3. So that's 750 grams of beef mince, extra lean beef mince, okay? So start off with this. Oven is coming up. We're gonna go 30 to 40 minutes, chucking it there, cut them all up, chucking in some seasoning, Italian herbs, spice, salt and pepper, drain the water. Just gonna be chucking that in here. Gonna put on a timer for 30 minutes, keeping it there for 30 minutes. All right, next is the rice, okay? Get a rice cooker. Rice is like one of the best carbs that you can have. So just wash the rice. I like to do 1 to 2 rinses of rice. If it's a lot, I'll do 2. If it's just a little bit, then I'll just do it once. So first things first, rinse the rice, wash. So the trick with cooking rice, super simple. I don't weigh it because I'm Asian, I'm a master at it. What I like to do is I pretty much just layer the same amount of water on top of the rice. So if the rice goes like 1 inch thick, then it's gonna be 1 inch of water above the rice, okay? The finger method. So I'm going to see where the top of the rice is, okay? Put it right there using one of my fingers. And then using my thumb, I'm gonna see where my thumb hits the top of the rice. So I feel it there, and then I just layer it on top. So that's about it, just like that. it's a pretty big buffer, okay? Have a little bit more water if you want to make it a little bit more wet. If you want it drier, then have a little bit less, okay? Super simple, it's not too long, and then bang, rice is cooking, okay? Next, okay, going to be seasoning the chicken. I like to just get taco seasoning, mix it up. So I'm gonna do this for the chicken. Okay. Since it's only for 3 days, I don't need to use the whole thing, okay? But I can if I want to. So I'm probably just gonna use like, yeah, probably use half of that. I could chuck the other half, so I'll just do that. But typically I'll just put salt and pepper, okay? Just mixing it, getting it in there, making sure it's all nice and even. Okay, and then going to do the same thing with the beef mince. I'll probably just add a little bit more salt, pepper, Italian herbs, paprika. Simple. Get your spray oil. Okay. Just a few sprays. I don't track that, but if you really want to, then you can do, per spray is about 5 calories. Okay. Now, once that heats up, I'm gonna chuck the mince on that, get that cooking. Flatten it, get all of it. You're gonna come, bring it closer. Yeah, you're pretty much like feeding it as much as possible. All right, so this is how the beef mince is looking. You wanna look up, looking nice and juicy. 5% fat, which is good. So, you know, that's nice and lean. So, all done with that. As mentioned before, making sure that you pat dry it. Then put it in the fridge, make sure that it's, you know, like really dried out, and then pat dry it again, okay? Because having it all watery, it's like pretty much like you're boiling beef. It's what you don't want to do, okay? Here. And then next is gonna be the chicken, okay? Also just wash up all the stuff. Too much. Just make sure it doesn't stick to the pan. Don't lose that protein. Spread it out. That chicken. All right, so this is how the chicken is looking right now, okay? But the beef mince is done and the rice is done. So we're gonna make our lunch meal first, okay? How was it done? I was shook, and bam. That's pretty good, not bad. I just weigh it all out. Mind you, potatoes are still cooking, chicken is still cooking, so I give it a bit of a toss every once in a while. Okay, so we got 3 containers. We're gonna separate this as well as possible. So 70 grams each, dry raw. So kind of just gonna break this up how we can. How is this looking? We can grab it here. So 250 grams each, okay? So we're just going to separate it as evenly as we can. Good amount of protein. Just like so. We're gonna get 150 grams each. Just chuck it straight in. 150 grams is quite a lot of vegetables, but you know, you gotta get your micronutrients in. Bang, 151. Sauces is grabbing here. You start it at 0, and then you put it on, and then you hit 0, you tear it, okay? Then it's going to go into the negatives, okay? And then when I do it here, I'm gonna be using like the whole, everything on the teaspoon, everything that comes from it. So for here, it is 30 grams. I'll probably go, yep, 29. That's good. Now I'll just mix it all up at the ends, okay? Bang. If you want to do a close up with this, that is lunch sorted. Cool, so let's pack this one. Bang, super simple. That is first one sorted. 708 calories, 61 grams of protein, 79 grams of carbs, and 15 grams of fats. Alrighty, put this one down just a tad. Alright, let's get the potatoes out. That should be sweet. 100 grams of potatoes. We're gonna distribute that with the 3. Alright, so now potatoes nice and evenly. This one. Super simple, just chicken and potatoes. Bang. Just like that. Got that all sorted. Now for the chicken. A good way to be able to check if the chicken is fully cooked so you don't get salmonella, to grab the biggest piece and to just break it in half. And if it's cooked all the way through with the biggest piece, everything else should be good. So this is definitely cooked. That should be good. Of this. So putting it all to the side. Okay. So let's go. Chicken, this a bit, just like so. All right, so that is all done. Now what we're gonna do is add some of the micronutrients. Next, we've got 25 grams of mixed leaves, so just like here. 50 grams of cherry tomatoes, and then 15 mils of Kewpie sesame dressing, and then 15 mils of Sriracha. 50 grams of this, super good micronutrients. Just 25 grams, that's it. Bang. Just like so, 48 grams, that's good as well. 15 mils of Sriracha, 15 mils of Kewpie. Tear, this is good on salad. And bang. Then you do it for the rest of them. There you go. This is dinner for the next 3 days. And just like that. Potatoes, salad, and then beef mince, hoisin, rice, vegetables. All right, so that is an entire 3 days worth of meal prep in less than an hour. So this is what we've got. We got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then a bunch of snacks. For breakfast, we're keeping it super simple. Protein oats, okay? Got my protein powder, oats, peanut butter, and then some frozen berries, 120 grams. Okay, next we've got lunch, which is just tasty hoisin beef mince with vegetables and rice. Okay. Next for dinner, we've got potatoes, chicken, salad. Okay, super simple, super nutrient dense, whole foods philosophy. And for snacks, what we've got is, for my pre-workout, I got some honey and corn thins, 3 corn thins, 10 grams of honey per corn thin. Okay, that's a good little pre-workout for me. And then next, for kind of just like a little bit of a sweet treat at night, we've got Greek yogurt, okay, 160 grams, 25 grams, packed easily, of dark chocolate, 70%. And then we got bananas, 120 grams of bananas, and then 120 grams of mixed berries again. So the total is 170 grams of protein, 350 grams of carbs, 58 grams of fats, okay, which will tally up to about 2,600 calories. So that's how you can do meal prep, quick and easy. This is everything you need for the next 3 days. I'll do it again on Wednesday, and that's that. That's how you're able to stay on top of your goals. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments down below, and subscribe for some more content just like this.